That's been a little annoying. But also, yep,
You figured it out.
yep. So now I don't have to do that at the beginning anymore. We've got it here, so all I got to do is combine the two, and then we need to work on coming up with a logo and coming up with
Social media should be done today
okay.
in the email.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. And that's for this?
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. All right. Well, let's get going. What we were going to talk about AI.
Oh yeah, AI. Well, let me ask. Let's do this. Let's you ask questions because it's more of
Oh
a
shit, yeah.
yeah. It's more of a you ask me verse.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about it a couple of times on here. But you know, I've said multiple times that I use it barely, right? I don't use it to its full extent. Nor do I think anybody really does. But you utilize it you utilize its potential more than I do, right? So like I specifically use it for like generating text for me, and that's about it. Like I don't have it do much else than that. So for instance, I'll take this podcast when we're done, and I'll go to ChatGPT and I'll say, provide a description for a podcast with using the below information, right? Something super rudimentary and easy. And then I'll put like the name of the podcast, the topics that we covered in the episode, and then like just list them out. Like this one will be AI and business integrating or business development, right? And then underneath that, I'll put like just a brief, quick overview, like we talked about using it for content creation and this and that, right? That's it. And then it'll pump out the description, and I'll just tweak it a little bit.
So it's funny. I'm glad you brought up ChatGPT because that Bard, Gemini are all different tools. So if you can catch that, ChatGPT, Bard, Gemini, those are all different type of AIs that you can utilize to generate any type of text. Most of them are on images now. Most of them are, processing off of their own image, generator with that type of AI. Like ChatGPT has DALL-E E that they utilize. But what I want to very highly stress is AI is only as good as you prompt it.
Yeah, and we talked about that too.
And like for what you just told me, what I would have done is probably just took the transcript, dropped the transcript in there, and then I wouldn't have had to do any of the extra stuff. Then it would have been straight to the point. Then it wouldn't have been any guesses. Then it wouldn't have been, left, right. Oh, hey, I would have just said, hey, give me 3 different variations of what I was looking for based off of this transcript. Act as this.
How do you get a transcript?
Meaning, if you literally do the audio and you put subtitles on there, and then you just download the subtitles file.
Yeah, hoping that they're all right. You know what I mean? But where do you do that? How do you put subtitles on there? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, people don't know this stuff. So, like, for me, those are just extra steps, so I just go in and again, absolutely, again, I'm not using it correctly or to its potential. I just do it real quick, and it makes my life easier. So if I were to go those extra steps, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it would just provide such a
better result.
And that's the issue with AI right now is it is getting a lot smarter, and I don't think people understand exactly how developed this type of software already is. Like, if you guys haven't noticed, do a Google search. There's already humanoid bots.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like Tesla already has them out. There's a couple other ones that literally are doing fully functionable tasks and being able to, repeat exactly what they did, why they did it, how they did it, and doing multi-stepped equations in front of people in real time. It's not,
Right.
hey, this takes 15 minutes to process, and then a robot moves. It takes 5 seconds to process, and then they act.
Yeah. So, um, well, let's use the podcast as an example.
Yeah.
So, getting a transcript, isn't there like an AI can upload this thing into it and it'll just pump out a transcript? Because subtitles is okay, but I know that there's got to be a tool that'll pump out speaker 1, speaker 2, you know what I mean, and give an actual transcript.
See, and the thing is this: it's a simple Google search away, or ready for this, it's a ChatGPT search away
Yeah, yeah.
from figuring it out. But I mean, there's AIs out there that basically will transcribe your whole entire um, podcast, but your whole entire, like reels and whatnot
Yeah.
in seconds, like CapCut. Yes, I know it's not the most developed tool, but most people who are just looking to get a transcript off of something they're not trying to shoot home
Right, right.
and develop direct a whole movie.
Yeah, yeah.
They're just trying to have the basics.
Yeah, so that's what that's pretty much all I use it for is like text and a little bit of content, and by content I mean text. But so like when I built my website, I would say, hey, write a description for my company or for new home construction, and then I would say, ask me 20 questions about my company that will, um, you know, once that information is provided, will allow you to give me the best possible results, right? So like so I do that. So it wrote like all of my stuff on my website, and actually my buddy that did the website used it to write a bio for me. So it's the funniest thing in the world, right? Like it's not anything that I would have ever written, and it wasn't like he put in some super details about me. He just put like was a Marine, owns a construction company from New York, right? And then boom, it pumps out whatever. And you can change it, and you can say, hey, make it 2 pages long. You can say make it 1 paragraph long. You know what I mean? So, but like that's all I've used it for, and social media descriptions and stuff like that. So that is like not even the tip of the iceberg on what this stuff is capable of. So what are some of the more advanced things that you use it for? And I know like that's a long-winded answer from you, but like
Yeah.
let's pick one of those and go like kind of so like coding. You use it to write code, right?
So, in the beginning, I used it to write code, but right now, it's getting there. But AI isn't the best at coding. You need to have a very analytical mind when it comes to coding and how to problem shoot it.
Mm-hmm.
So, it can produce around 85% of the right code, but you still have to do 15%.
Mm.
So, I had to more or less learn coding to be able to troubleshoot
And fix that
and
15.
fix all of that stuff. Now, is it possible to do very basic stuff? Like, I always show off the example of a Google Chrome extension to where I can go into ChatGPT and within, a matter of 5 minutes, I can have a Google Chrome extension to do as simple as date of births, like a date of birth calculator. Like you put in date of birth and it just pops out the age.
Okay.
What were you thinking?
I was like, I thought you said data birth. Like
Oh no,
you
no,
would
no,
birth
date
data,
of
and I was
birth.
like, what the?
Whoa, what is that?
I literally was like, I was gonna be like, for the listeners, what does that mean? Even though it was for me, because I had no idea what it was.
Yeah, no, date of birth
of-
calculator. Just put in
Yep.
just something simple just to show them. And obviously, my industry, that's what I use all the time. But I mean, I can make it whatever. Hey, you want a Google Chrome extension to look up just I don't know the closest bakery. Like
Yeah.
there's so many different things you can do, but it's 3 different files, 4 different files. for a Google Chrome extension,
Yeah.
and it's good enough to write a 12-piece line of code.
Yeah. So, um, another thing that I've seen it used for, and that I've kind of sort of messed around with, but I'm impatient. So it's so funny. I'm the most impatient person, I guess, is what I would say. Because at times that it doesn't matter. Like I'll stand in line at Walmart for 45 minutes to check out and not have a problem with it, right?
Yeah, but it's when it involves you trying to move fast
Yep.
normally.
Yeah. So like if I'm working on something myself or at work, I'm like, come on. What the heck? Like I get upset and then I'm like, all right, just move on. I'm doing something else, right? But again, when it doesn't matter, like if we're at a restaurant, I'll go an hour or 2 hours waiting for food and not realize that I've been waiting that long. You know what I mean? Whereas everyone else is throwing a fit. So anyway, that being said, I messed around a little bit with it to make, and this kind of touches on what we talked about last time with software and stuff. When you can't afford software, just get on Google Sheets or Excel, and you can do a lot with those tools.
Well, I think I mentioned it last time, app script off Google Sheets. That's where code meets Google Sheet. So what most people don't understand is if you set up the right code and the right triggers on inside of an app script, which again controls your Google Sheet or your Word doc, you can literally turn your Google Sheet into an application. Whatever you want it to do, you can more or less make it do what it should do.
Mm-hmm.
And it's even nicer because it has all those formulas within it. And then from there, you can then add code on top of it. And it's magical. It really is.
Yeah.
I've built out entire lead distribution systems using Google Sheets and AppScript.
Yeah.
Putting in my own code instead of having my clients that come to me go pay $1,000, $1,500 at Lean Arena or Lead Prospects, these bigger companies that shoot out their leads. They can literally, for the same price of what they come get the leads for, they can just get that code one time and suffice their whole company.
Mm-hmm.
But it's all of that stemmed from AI.
Yeah. So that's what I was gonna say is like I have again tried this before, but you need to be a little bit patient with it and keep tweaking your prompts until it pumps out what you want, right?
Yeah, and that's why I always tell you, and I know I've mentioned it on here before, is 10% in the beginning is you, 80% I need someone else, I need to employ them, I need to do, give it off that task, 1099, whatever that may be, or in this case, AI. And then that last 10% is me double checking, making sure it's my stamp of approval on it.
Yep. So that's what I was gonna say is I've tried that and I've put stuff in and I've said, hey, make a Excel template for me that does these things, right? Or whatever. I'll just say whatever it is I'm looking for, and it'll pump out something that you can copy and paste into Excel and use, right? So like for those of you that don't know how to use Excel yet, or don't know what it's capable of, you can easily get on ChatGPT and say, hey, I need an Excel document that allows me to have this many columns with drop downs and blah 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 that link together. Like you can get pretty specific, and then it'll literally give you a freaking little XML file to copy and paste right into Excel, and boom, you've got what you need right there. So for those of you, and all of it's free, like so you don't need the software and stuff up front. So that's another thing that you can use. And again, I keep saying ChatGPT because that's the only one I'm familiar with. You have those other ones that you were talking about, but like you don't need to spend money on this stuff. It's there for everybody to use, and it's so powerful. So like you've used it for coding, you can use it to create templates for any Excel, Word, PowerPoint, everything. It'll make all of those, and it's a simple copy and paste. There may be a little bit of tweaking, right, once you get it in there.
Yeah, but you ready for this? If you don't know how to do it, all you simply say is this: give me a step-by-step tutorial with steps that a kindergarten can do.
Yeah, exactly.
And they're going to give it to you in a way that you can't mess it up. It might be 1,000 steps,
Right.
but they're going to walk you
They're going to break it
through
down.
how to do this for you. All you got to do is implement.
Yep.
And that's usually the issue, though. I will say, once people realize the tech side of the house, people stop. What I mean by that is usually when they put these commands into ChatGPT and then they see those long step-by-step processes, they go, yeah, that was a good idea.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even think that's just with the tech, but that's like everything, staying consistent and disciplined, and implementing and doing these things, anything, you know what I mean? It's not just the tech stuff, but once you have an idea with the business, moving forward with it and staying consistent with it is super difficult. So this just makes it a little bit easier, you know what I mean? But then a lot of people get complacent, and I have been in the past as well. So I can see that for sure. Once you got AI available, you just go, just have it do it, and then it'll come out, and it won't be perfect, and you'll say, whatever. You know what I mean?
You're not wrong. I see a lot of people doing that. I can tell if you look at someone's prior work, and then you see in the last few months they've been pumping out a whole bunch of stuff. None of the content's even related to, how they spoke before.
Right.
Like, you can tell it's AI.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I will say this. Obviously, I've been working around a little bit more. I was talking to someone about this the other day. Obviously, I can pick out some things a little bit faster than others.
Yeah.
But man, I'm telling you, AI will be able to change how you're doing your ordinary life. Because someone for like myself, and if people don't know, I'm not the best speller. Okay.
Yeah.
There's been some pretty hilarious things over the years on the spelling, but thing is, spelling is not my strong suit. But I can tell you this: no one knows that with the people that I work with,
Mm-hmm.
because AI complements my weak points.
Yeah. Yeah.
If I can't spell something, guess what? AI is really good at figuring out what the heck I meant. Like, a lot better than spell check.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But that's the interesting thing. Ready for that? Spell check's AI.
Right.
But most people don't think that far. It's like, you've been using AI this entire time.
Mm-hmm.
It's just now being readily accessible to the public.
Right.
And people don't know how to utilize it.
Yeah.
So I know we talked about, obviously, like doing chats and just asking generic, questions, tasks for, ChatGPT. But how do you take that one step further and actually start implementing AI into your day-to-day basis, to actually make it easier for you? So I have things like Mind Map that is literally just an AI that monitors my entire screen. I download it onto my computer, and at the end of the day, I can go back and search, and it will go through my entire history of that day and be able to pinpoint exactly what I'm looking for.
What?
Yes. So you know how you sometimes you're like, "Hey, I'm busy, but I want to go look up X, Y, and Z," and you were halfway through it on a search task, and you never come back to it because you can't remember it, and then you go and try to find the search task, and it's,
Yeah.
with Mind Map, you just have the ability to go in and type. If you have the, for me, because I do a bunch with insurance, if I go in there and type in, cash value life insurance, anything that I touch that day will pop up with cash value life insurance or with the gist of it. And then I can ask for a summary for that day, and then it could hit off all the different websites and stuff and put it into a PDF where the links are for me. So it's just it's a simple way to keep myself organized, but be able to, not be so organized throughout the day and be like killing myself and going, oh, I need to know this. I need to put this down. I can't forget about this, and then I miss something else.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
just allows me to be able to flow through because, like, days can get extremely busy. Whatever you have on that calendar can shift 3 or 4 times.
Yep.
And it's nice to go back and go, hey, look, I had this assistant be able to capture everything for me.
Yeah.
And it's nice. Another one that I use a ton is actually Zoom's AI because it summarizes everything. So literally at the end of the Zoom call, I have an entire summary and any links, anything like that, again, gets summarized and put right in there. So it's little tools that I utilize daily just to be able to
Yeah.
more efficient.
I've never. Again, I don't. Excuse me. I don't know much about it. That's why you're talking about it because I'm lost. But I mean, that's pretty sweet. I didn't know. We'll have to try and link this stuff in the description because I'll try. I have no idea what to do with that, but
Yeah, and that's why I've said them a few times is just in case.
Yeah.
Hopefully they're picking it up, and that's if they want it. I'm not saying all these things are for you. Some people are fully against AI, but I can tell you this: it's been here for a decade already. It's not going nowhere.
Not only that, but I mean, everybody else is going to be using it. So if you're not, you know what I mean, you're going to get, I don't want to say left behind, but you definitely, it'll be harder for you to compete with the newer companies that are coming up and the younger people. You know what I mean? Because like even myself, it's most of the construction companies aren't using it because it's, guys that are twice my age that are getting ready to sell off the company and retire or something.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not looking to learn that stuff. They've been doing it the same way for 30 years. They're not going to change now. But, any new companies for sure are already using it. And, I need to learn more about it. I need to implement some more practices and systems because I see that, that I'll get that you'll get left behind. You know what I mean? That it's going to be harder for me to compete with the new people if I don't figure it out. So anyway, so those are a couple of things, but I know there's just, again, there's no way that we can hit on everything that it's capable of, but there's some other things that you've been able to use it for, right? So there's some now that generate photos and
So that's what I was going to go over. So I would say two main ones that I use for my day to day. Obviously, there's a couple of ones that I test out that I just like to see what I can, do with them. Like a few of the video generated ones. And
yeah.
like literally, guys, put a prompt in ChatGPT. ChatGPT then sends it over to another AI. There's 2 of them in general, but one of them is NVIDIA.ai. Sorry, IO. This company just basically takes that text, jams it down into stock videos, and then throws subtext on it, and then throws an AI voice on it. And it just allows you to build out a stock video off whatever script that you want. Now, it's not perfect, but I wouldn't say it's that bad. I would say it's better than what I would be able to do video editing because I don't care to learn it.
Yeah.
And it is, like generic, but you can go in and edit it right after, just like we've talked about. Like it's a good 80.
Mm-hmm.
Then you go in and finish it. You know what I mean?
Do you have the ones that you made for the podcast?
I think I do.
Let me see if I can do something real quick.
Let me see. I'm still looking here. Okay.
I think we can connect you to here and we can listen to it.
I don't know how.
With a cord. Give me 1 second. Let me go grab that.
Well, this is also Mac. You have to remember, I don't have.
USB-C?
It does.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just to show them what it's capable of.
The capabilities.
There was one that was hilarious that I wanted to try and show them.
And I will try to find these. Okay. Let's see.
Yeah, so back when we first started this up, we were, he plugged a couple of prompts in there to mess around and try and create like a promo video / intro for us. Just again messing around because it threw out some of the funniest stuff I've ever heard. It was like one of the very first ones that you did, sitting in the office over there.
Well, if that's the case, let me just look at our messages.
You didn't send them to me. I was sitting in the office with you, and you just pulled it up on your computer.
Well, you stop. Let's see. I think I had one saved here. Is this it?
In a world where advice is a dime a dozen.
Yeah, is it plugged in?
Oh, it's plugged in.
All right, do that again. Oh, wait, you got to change that probably to your output.
1 second, I have to open this.
That sounded like it, though.
Settings. Sorry, this is so stupid now. Something's supposed to be simple.
Oh, I forgot.
Sound output. I needed to go to caster. There we go.
Did it work? You found it?
In a world where
Yep.
advice is a dime a dozen,
All right, listen to this.
two brothers rise above the noise, armed with wisdom, wit, and an uncanny knack for turning the ordinary into the extraordinary. Meet the Giessen Brothers, your unexpected guides on life's unpredictable journey. They've got the answers you never knew you needed, wrapped in humor you didn't see coming. Brace yourself for a wild ride as they turn your personal, professional, and spiritual quests into a roller coaster of laugh-out-loud moments. They're not your average Joes or your run-of-the-mill gurus. They're the Giessen Brothers, delivering life advice with a side of hilarity. So buckle up, tune in, and get ready to laugh your way to enlightenment. Remember, folks, wisdom doesn't always have to be serious, and with the Giessen Brothers, it rarely ever is. Welcome to the most entertaining journey of your life.
I mean, why haven't we posted that? Oh my gosh.
But that was 100% AI generated.
Yeah,
Just with a prompt from me.
that was fantastic. So, like, the other thing you guys couldn't see is the video. Someday we'll be able to show all that. But,
oh God.
there's
I was laughing. I wanted to show you, and I was like, I can't kill off in the middle of this.
the video's
Oof.
even funnier. But the sound, you can see that was all AI. That was an AI voice. That was an AI script. All he said was, what was your prompt that you entered? You can see that, right?
I'd have to go back. That was ChatGPT a while ago. I use ChatGPT every single day. So
Oh, okay. I'm
That's
sure it
not
was
easy.
something like, provide or create a intro or something.
Well, yeah. So guys, the way that you prompt it's everything. I tend to my prompt is typically a paragraph thick by the time I'm done telling it what I want it to do, how to do it, how to give me the result, because I tell it everything. Because if you walk into Walmart and you walk past, someone goes to help you, and you're like, so is that person gonna be able to assist you? That's what you're doing to AI when you just say, make an image of a cat.
Yeah,
You're letting it guess on so much
right.
that it's going to just give you the most basic answer. Aisle 7?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
It's not going to go what type of soap are you looking for?
Right.
Do you have dry skin? It's not trying to dig deep on that. So it's more on the individual to be able to to be more in depth on the questions you ask and how you want it to respond.
Yeah, and that's one of the hacks that I used, which was you can say, "Hey, I need you to act as whatever." So say you're doing social media, right? You're trying to get a post for social media. You can say, "I need you to act as the top social media manager in the company." You know what I mean? That produces 1 million views on each whatever, right? And then you say, I need you to act as this, blah, blah, blah. And in a moment, I'm going to ask you to create a schedule for posting on social media or whatever. And then you can say, ask me 20 questions, ask me 30 questions. You know what I mean? Or ask me as many questions as necessary don't ever say that, actually. I've tried that. It'll only ask like 5 questions. But you can say, give me 30 questions to answer that will provide you with enough information to produce the best possible outcome, right? And so that's the hack. Like, if you don't know what to tell it, ask it what to tell it.
Yeah, so it's funny. When I find it funny, but I tell my guys, use AI to use AI.
I was just about to say the same thing. You can say, hey, give me a prompt. You know what I mean? Like, write a prompt for me for.
Ready for this?
Yeah.
Act as a prompt engineer and help me put together the best prompt to do X, Y, and Z.
Mm-hmm.
Then it's going to shoot you back out something.
Yep.
That's if you have no idea what you're doing. But the more and more you do it, you're going to see how they start to do it themselves.
Yep.
And go, okay, I wonder if I tweak it this way, if there's going to be a better result.
Yep.
And it's really that simple. If you don't know, you just ask, hey, how would you do the prompts?
Yeah. Yep. That's it.
It's not that difficult. It's literally an assistant in a box.
Yeah, and again, it can be intimidating because I've already been through it, but it doesn't have to be. You know what I mean? If you just pretend you're, like he said, give me a step-by-step guide as if I were handing this to a 2-year-old. You know what I mean? Act like a 2-year-old. Pretend you don't know anything, and tell it to give you that information.
Or the best is just because there's so many books out there for like accounting for dummies. Like,
yeah.
I've put that in there. Explain this to me like I'm a dummy. And
yeah.
It works. Like,
yep.
It's doing its job to the T.
Yeah, and again, a lot of these are free or have free versions.
Yeah.
Of course, you can pay for the upgraded stuff, you know what I mean, and get better. But for most of us, like me, I don't need the upgraded version. ChatGPT, what I'm using 3.5 or something that's still free.
Yeah.
It is just fine. You know what I mean? I'm not asking it to scour the internet for the most recent anything.
Yeah, like I'm on the flip side. I use ChatGPT 4, the paid version, and I'm like, I don't believe ChatGPT 3.5 can do what I need it to do.
Yeah, aren't they out like with 5 now?
No. They have plans to release 5 in like August timeframe. They will probably they already did ChatGPT 4 Turbo. They will probably do 4.5 next.
Okay. So, yeah, basically it's we keep saying ChatGPT because it's the most widely
But
known,
again,
I believe.
Gemini.
What is Gemini?
Gemini is just another
Same thing as ChatGPT, roughly.
same thing in sense. Bard is Google's version.
Okay. And then so like here's the other crazy rabbit hole that we can go down, which is you can get plugins for ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Which is a whole nother beast. So I mean you can do, I don't even know what those are. I've never messed with any of them.
Well, I'll explain them. So a plugin is exactly what I use to generate that video.
All right, so stay away from the plug. No.
No, so the plugins are just as simply said, hey, here's another system like Canva. It has a plugin with Canva. Does it go on there and actually edit the different templates in Canva? No, but it does search that entire library and give you, hey, these 3 different templates I would use based off of what you just told me. Then you can click on it and it takes you straight to Canva to that template to edit.
That's something to note as well, as like Canva now has a free image generator on it that anybody can use.
Yes, which lo and behold, it's DALL-E.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's ChatGPT.
Yep.
And that's the funny thing is most of these different systems are all piggybacking off of ChatGPT to build theirs. And that was going to be my next thing is how easy it is to do chatbots and AI companions. What I mean by that is having a widget on your website that responds and can answer any question in your business 24/7. Instead of having an assistant having to be there and answer the questions or hiring a VA that's out in the Philippines that can barely speak English, you can have an AI respond to everything.
So real quick, guys, VA is virtual assistant.
Oh yeah, sorry, yeah.
But yeah.
So you can have AI man these things that we potentially had to, pay employees to have to do.
Yeah, and I mean, you had that temporarily. I don't know if it's still set up on your Instagram, but I remember you set that up and you told me to test it out, right? So I message over there, and it's not perfect, but it was pretty funny, the conversation that I was having with it.
And I mean, that's the thing is the one on Instagram, that is off a different software that I use for most of the businesses. That's not a perfect AI bot.
Right.
That's still in a learning phase. It's still in a beta phase. If I would to put a chatbot into like for employees or for customers to use, that isn't developed enough, as you could tell. Like it was like it could get the job done maybe 75% of the time. I could flip it back on.
Yeah, no, don't do that.
And it's just one of those things where AI bots, you have to build them out independently and then loop them back into whatever you're doing. It's really hard to build an AI bot inside your like CRM and have it all in one place. It's usually something you need to connect.
Yeah. So I wrote, you told me to test it. So I wrote, I don't think it will work here. And then the crazy thing is that it comes back as if you were talking to me. So like for anybody else that messages you personally on that, you know what I mean? It would be a little bit off if they're not looking for business. But it goes, got it. Sometimes what works in one place doesn't fit another. Let's find what does. What's on your mind today? I was like, what the fuck? Did you hire a manager? And it goes, sounds like things are getting serious. A manager can help steer things in the right direction. What's next on your list? Want to set up a time to chat? And I wrote, hard pass. And it says, no worries. If there's anything else you need help with, feel free to let me know. Always here to help out. So like, if somebody didn't know that was AI, and they'd be like, what the hell is Rudy doing? Since it comes back as you. It doesn't say, hey, this is his assistant or anything. It just acted as if it were you. So again, because I was sitting next to you talking to this thing, it was different. But if somebody else had accidentally, or not accidentally, but messaged you, they'd be like, what the hell is going on?
Well, that's the thing is on my business side, that's just in general. If you hit up my business phone number, which I'm not going to say what it is,
right?
Because I don't want just a whole bunch of text messages to see an AI work.
Yeah.
No, my business, the AI responds. And then from there, it will book an entire appointment for me. And then it's just a hands-off approach.
Right.
Then it's the only time I'm, speaking with a warm or a new customer is on the appointment, not having to try to get them to answer a phone call or try to craft different text messages and hope and, test out a whole bunch of different things. I just let the AI go to town.
Yeah. So it's, we're rolling up on 40 minutes. So, but I wanted to kind of sort of summarize, but also like mention a couple things about AI that should be noted. Like, it's not able to replace a full person, right?
No.
It can replace some tasks. Like you said, it can, answer some questions. It's not going to be able to answer all your questions.
It should make your day easier and replace some of the little minute tasks.
Right. And it can, but it can save you a bunch of time, right? I mean, very easily. Like we had said, for those of you getting started, this one, this is mainly tailored to you, this part, because again, if you don't have the software and you need those templates set up, because you do need them, if you're starting a company and you're just figuring out your systems and getting your SOPs figured out, guess what? Tell ChatGPT to give you a template for an SOP for your company, include your position, you know what I mean? And then ask it, hey.
You ready for this? Create, and like, I won't, you know what? I'll give you a prompt for it. So if I was to prompt something like that, I would say, act as an HR manager who has a master's degree.
Mm-hmm.
Set forth a standard operating procedure for blank company who is in blank industry. Here is the description of the company. Now, 9 times out of 10, you have a description of your company, guys. If not, ask ChatGPT for it.
Yeah, have them make you one first.
Okay? But I then put the description. Then I would ask, if you have any additional questions about the SOP off the description, ask 10 follow-up questions that are needed.
Yep.
Then I'd hit go.
Exactly.
Then, based off those questions, I'm going to answer them, and I'm going to put at the end of that prompt how I want it to give me the SOP.
Right, in what format and all that.
Exactly, and that's the key there is I'm not just asking it and hoping, oh, ChatGPT is just going to produce me what I want it to. I want it in a detailed bullet list.
Yep.
To where all I have to do is reprompt it with that certain section to elaborate.
Mm-hmm.
So all I am doing is getting the outline, and then from the outline, I am breaking down each independent section with a different command.
And plugging it back in, though.
Yes.
Yep.
I'm not just doing the SOP in one big giant jump.
It won't, yeah.
Because, it can, but it's not going to be detailed. It's not going to be what I want it to. I want it to actually provide value, and how you do that is doing an outline and then chunking it up into each section inside of ChatGPT. Now, how long does that take? Honestly, I can do an SOP, just an outline, in 5 minutes.
Yep.
And then from the outline, depending on where I want it to go, because if I look at that outline, I'm still thinking, okay, do I want to add? Do I want to subtract? And then I'm doing edits to that outline and telling ChatGPT to give me a finished product based off of what I'm telling it to. Then once I have that final product, then I'm giving
each section
each
a
section.
new.
And I tweak that section the same way until that's done. It takes a little while.
Yeah, but it's much less than typing it up from scratch
It's
on
much
your own.
less, but it's also a much higher quality.
Exactly. So that's what I wanted to say is for those of you starting out, you can create your systems, your SOPs, your templates, anything that you need that needs to be repeatable. Hop on there and give it a shot, because you'd be surprised at what it's able to do, and what the quality of the stuff. Again, the quality is only as good as your prompts and what you tell it. But we just told you, some of the hacks on how to get the correct prompts. So it doesn't have to be that difficult. You don't overthink it is what I'm trying to say. So, and then again, there's a million other things that it does that we haven't touched on. That's I mean,
I'll say this: the people out there who actually say, or you ever see the YouTube videos, people make money off ChatGPT. It is so easy.
Absolutely.
All you have to do is have an idea.
Yep.
And you can make money. It's that simple off that thing because it does all of the thinking for you.
Yeah. So for those of you that aren't using AI yet, look into it. And for those of you that are just starting, it's the perfect time to get into it.
Yeah. And you don't want to get left. I'm saying that as someone who every single day is like, guys, I don't look at the news at all. At all.
Me neither.
Like, at all. But what I do is stay up to date on AI every single day.
Yeah.
And I get a newsletter every single day that goes over updates. And then, lo and behold, you ready for this? I know this might sound unbelievable, but I literally about an hour and a half a day to 2 hours of AI YouTube to be able to continue my learning on it because there's that much out there.
Yeah, I don't do any of that. I also don't look at the news, but
people always ask though. They're like, "What do you do on your spare time? What are you learning?"
Oh, absolutely. So I'm not doing that, right? But I am, my YouTube's like, engineering stuff for home building and things.
Well, no, and then that's the thing is, it's where are you making money right now? Construction.
Well, yeah, but it's to your point, it's just not, we're not just watching TikTok videos of girls dancing. Like that's the point. Like we're on my reels, my YouTube, there are obviously some funny ones in there because I do also like to laugh. But if I'm on YouTube, my whole thing is either music because when I'm at the office, I just play music while I'm working, or it's something specifically related to the construction industry, or a lot of business stuff because of this. You know what I mean? I like this. So
well, yeah, I just thought I'd mention that because I get that question a lot.
Yeah.
With me being in sales, me being in a lot of different industries, it's where you actually take your time to do personal development. I pick to rest all of my time in AI because I believe it is that important, and that is the way and the positioning we're going to in the U.S.
Yeah.
If you
not only in
don't
the
know
U.S.,
AI, you're going to get lost. And
I agree.
AI has made me a lot of money so far, so I'm going to just keep on chugging.
Okay, so I want to change just a little bit for the last couple minutes because you mentioned you don't watch the news. I also don't watch the news. However, did you see that boat ran into the bridge yesterday in Maryland?
You know what's funny? Not that.
I was like,
first off, let me
whoa.
really put that out there. I heard about it from someone who saw a post, and he's like, "Whoa, what the heck just happened here?" And they explain. I go, "Oh, that sucks. Anyone bridge just doesn't fall down.
Yeah,
what happened?
Yep.
I guess a ship hit it." I'm like, "Yeah, that will take out a bridge."
That's literally the extent to what I know because I went to a client's home yesterday.
That's all I know.
I walked in and I was fixing something for him. And he goes, "Man, did you see this crazy stuff on the news?" And I was like, "What are you talking about?" And he goes, "Apparently some big tanker ship hit one of the pylons on the Maryland Bridge and the whole thing went down." And I was like, "What?"
So literally, this is where my mind thinks. I already have an ad out saying, "You never know what can happen too soon."
Yep.
A bridge could fall.
Yeah.
I already have an ad out for
yeah.
life insurance. And that's the thing is, that's how I use the news, Vice, a lot of people.
Yeah.
Is that is going to spark fear.
Yep.
So, what is everyone thinking?
Mm-hmm.
Well, if I die, what happens?
Yeah,
I'm going to play into it.
It's funny. I mean, because that works for your industry, but like mine too. I could write, I'll build you a house strong enough for a boat to hit it. You know what I mean? I could do stupid stuff like.
That's also understanding marketing, playing off of what's going on right now to pull the emotion. Like that's easy as heck. And the thing is, because everybody, for the most part, lives on the news,
Mm-hmm.
they want to see that next update.
Yeah.
But this is my biggest thing out for everyone. Did that bridge impact? Right?
What do you mean?
Like the bridge impact, like them impacting
Oh, yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
bridge. Did that affect your life in any way?
Yeah, no.
No. So why the heck did you even need to know about it?
Yeah, right. So
How many pointless conversations have been said around that? And don't get me wrong, is it sad for the people that have not been found, anything like that passed away? 100%. But that's not like,
surrounding yourself with that negative information, you know what I mean?
but that's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
all the news is
No,
only
exactly.
negative information.
That's why I agree. That's why I don't watch the news.
No, that's why I don't
So,
do it
like,
either.
There's occasionally things like that that'll slip through and get to me, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
But I still have yet to research it at all. I just saw a brief snippet on the TV, and what he told me was apparently the boat had called with enough time for the cars to get off the bridge. So, like, they called somebody and reported it, so they got all the traffic off the bridge, but there were construction workers. So I guess there's 8 construction workers that were still missing as of noon yesterday. That's all I know. I still haven't even, looked into it. My wife yesterday said, "Hey, did you hear about this bridge?" I said, "Yeah," and then I went to sleep. Like,
Bet they didn't have their safety vest on.
yeah, they weren't wearing, they didn't have their road guard vest. So yeah, I don't, you said something about the news, so I was like, that's kind of big in the news right now, and it's funny. That's not funny, but it's funny that I still don't know what happened to it.
It's just, it's not even that. It's most people get hooked into that because it's something exciting.
Yeah, they'll sit in front of the TV for 8 hours just watching that one story on
And,
repeat.
and to me, it has no value to me.
Yeah.
Nor do I need to put input on it because it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And I have some type of, I know I couldn't get my words out there.
It's okay. I've done it once already too today, but I was just like, because now I can hear everything.
Yeah, no, it's like I'm trying to cast a spell on your ass. Jeez, I don't know.
Lost your thought?
Yeah,
My bad. Didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're all good.
Yeah. So anyway, we had a pretty great conversation about AI, and then we went off the rails there to talk about the boat. But
I have an unacting ability to, or an uncanny ability an uncanny ability to just not give a rat's ass about anything.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm real good at it.
Uh-huh.
Like anything you say just rolls right off me because it just.
There's a couple situations like that, and that I can think of where somebody will tell me something, I go, okay, and they're like, we're expecting this big reaction, and I'm like,
yeah, it happens so much with me. People expect so much reaction. I'm like,
yeah.
Okay, cool. What's next?
Yeah. I don't get it.
Well, why aren't you upset? Why should I be?
Yeah. That's it.
Like, I got enough things to be upset about. I don't want to add to the list.
Yep. All right. Well, we'll wrong one. Yeah, we'll close it out. So much easier having the music right there now, so that we can do the intro and exit and everything. And then, you know what? Actually, let me shut that off. Let's listen. Can you pull that up one more time?
What?
The video?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, let's listen to that one more time. And we'll close out with that instead of the music.
Okay. I'm getting to it. Okay, ready?
Yep.
In a world where advice is a dime a dozen,
Listen to that
two
music.
brothers rise above the noise, armed with wisdom, wit, and an uncanny knack for turning the ordinary into the extraordinary. Meet the Giessen Brothers, your unexpected guides on life's unpredictable journey. They've got the answers you never knew you needed, wrapped in humor you didn't see coming. Brace yourself for a wild ride as they turn your personal, professional, and spiritual quests into a roller coaster of laugh-out-loud moments. They're not your average Joes or your run-of-the-mill gurus. They're the Giessen Brothers, delivering life advice with a side of hilarity. So buckle up, tune in, and get ready to laugh your way to enlightenment. Remember, folks, wisdom doesn't always have to be serious, and with the Giessen Brothers, it rarely ever is. Welcome to the most entertaining journey of your life.
Love it. All right, guys. We'll close it out. Just keep in mind, make sure you guys are here every week, every Monday, and we're doing every Thursday now as well. Because we're just starting, we're trying to get guests scheduled, and I'm finding out that is a task, trying to get everybody's schedules aligned, on top of managing my company, our company together, you know what I mean, and then getting all this taken care of. So we'll get some more guests on here as soon as we can. But for now, you'll just have to listen to us. Make sure you're here Mondays and Thursdays to spend some time with your guides on your spiritual journey. All right, anything else you got?
Absolutely not.
All right, we'll see you guys next time.